How's it going, everyone? I hope you're having an absolutely amazing day. Thank you so much for tuning in to hang out with me for a little bit today while I talk about Marvel Rivals. We are going to be looking at a little bit of the Ignite tournament that's going on right now. And the reason that I want to do that is because, well, I don't know if you guys have been watching it at all, but I've been hopping in off and on to check out some of the games. I always love watching top tier gameplay, but I have been very interested to see who people are playing as right now. Like, what is the priority looking like as far as this tournament is concerned, right? Up until now, the videos I've made, like tier lists and like carry potential and just priority in general, have been based on like how games have felt for me as I'm pushing my way through Diamond now and approaching Grandmaster. Hopefully I'm going to hit that very soon. I am one win from Diamond 1 right now. I've just been absolutely crushing it lately. I don't mean that in like a bragging way. I've just been doing super well. So this is just a little bit different because it gives you some insight and it lets you know what to expect in the top tier gameplay. And not that you can't see that from watching, streams prior to this or whatever, but to see people actually come into this tournament and make decisions on who they want to play and who they want to ban, I think that makes creating a little bit of a priority list a little bit more relevant for the moment right now, right? And I know that this is a very heavy flyer poke meta when you're just playing competitive regularly, but it doesn't necessarily feel too much like that when I'm watching the tournament games going on right now. It seems a little bit more like the Vanguards are kind of the showcase right now. We're seeing that with bans, we're seeing that with team comps. Like, yes, we're seeing the flyers too. The storms around, the Sharknado is definitely a thing sometimes. We see Ultron too, and we see Ultron getting banned. But what I did before I hopped into this was I went and I took some screenshots of some of the picks and some of the bans just to bring up here for reference so we can take a look at that. And then I create a little bit of a visualization and a tier list that we can see, just right in front of you. You've got it available to you, the info that I've kind of compiled, and that can give you an idea of maybe who to spend some extra time on or to continue to focus right now based on what we're seeing from this tournament. Before we hop into the screenshots, if you have not subscribed yet, please take a moment to do so. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's free to subscribe to the channel. I'm closing in on 1,000 subs. This is a monumental thing for me. I'm having so much fun with this page and this game and chatting with you guys and developing this really cool community of people to talk about Marvel Rivals with. So if you have already subscribed, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And if you have not yet, just take that second and just click the subscribe button. It doesn't take you any more than 0.02 seconds, right? Okay, let's hop into the screenshots here. And we can just kind of take a look at how things are based on what I've been seeing, especially now. This is for the AMER Stage 1, the Americas. This is, I believe, Group Stage 2. Anyway, let's pull these screenshots up and take a look. Okay, screenshot number 1, Shroud X and Techie XD. I think that's how you say that name. I'm not 100% positive. But this is looking kind of like what you would be expecting to see, right? I guess with the unexpected pick being Torch. I don't really see him that much in competitive play anymore, and I feel like because of the nerf, people just kind of haven't been playing him, and I think that the nerf was noticeable, but he's being picked for the tournament. I mean, there's clearly value. It's not like what was changed in his kit made him bad, but like I said, we're just seeing less of him. Bans right now, so this is an interesting system to see implemented, and I haven't watched the other tournaments, so I don't know if they were doing this before, but I feel like they weren't. Correct me if I'm wrong, but now you have the ability to save too. So even if they have been banned, you can then save them and then the ban gets canceled, which is really cool. But they've got a lot of healers being banned. Like, this is something that I'm really noticing in this right now, is that duelists aren't getting banned. And I'm kind of seeing this already too on the competitive side, like outside of the tournaments. It's more support, like the strategists are getting banned, and tanks. Magneto is getting banned a lot right now in this tournament. Luna's getting banned, Invis is getting banned, Cloak is getting banned and then saved. And Loki's getting banned pretty frequently as well. Like, if we're looking at this ban setup right here for this round specifically, there's not a single duelist in there. And this is something that I was seeing quite a bit while I was watching these games, and that's really interesting. I have joked with my friends before, like, what if we only ban the strategists? Like, let's ban Rocket, Luna, let's try to get Invis out, let's try and get Cloak out as well. Like, let's take away the easy kind of like strategist support play. Like, imagine even now banning Cloak and Rocket. It makes things more difficult for people because now you're left with the healers that you need to be really accurate with. But aside from Jeff, I suppose. But nonetheless, we're kind of seeing this right now. We're seeing a decrease in the available pool of strategists, and then Magneto gets banned a lot. So here's screenshot number 1. We'll pull up the second one here. Screenshot number 2 looks a little similar, right? We do see a Jeff in here now. We see a Wolverine. Punisher has been a top pick. No surprise there. He's doing super well. We're seeing Thing getting picked too. People have given me, their thoughts on me putting Thing high up on the tier list before. And like, look, I get it. If it's a really heavy flyer situation, then sure. I guess he loses a little bit of value. But Thing is very, very good at creating space for objective control. You can't ignore it. We're seeing him picked in the tournament. He's very valid. A lot of strange picks too. Not like strange picks, like why'd they do that? Doctor Strange, right? And, we've got Magneto here as well. So a little bit different bans here. But again, these people know who they're playing against, so they know who to ban based on who they know that the enemy team, plays well as. So they're kind of, targeting specific bans off and on. We do see Black Panther saved here, but I think that's more of like a, someone to swap to. And obviously they make changes in game too. A perfect example of that would be to look at this screenshot here. This is an interesting pick here to start out, right? We're seeing 3 strategists being picked, and we're seeing what ended up being a solo tank. I don't remember who Guru swapped to, but I think it was Wolverine. I can check. I took another screenshot because I want to show you something interesting. So this was actually an interesting game because this was the first time that I even saw a team looking at a 4 strategist play. There was a moment where Solaris in this game in the beginning, and I'm not sure if they actually committed to it. I don't remember. I took this screenshot and I think I just missed it because there was a time here where it was 1 tank and then it was Mantis, Cloak, Adam, and Jeff as well. So that's just that's a crazy play. I don't see why that wouldn't work. I know that Bedtime Story was swapping around, and he did play in this game. If I remember specifically, he did play a pretty decent amount of it as Star-Lord. I don't recall him even actually being, I think it was just Star-Lord. But anyway, that was just a really interesting thing to see because I know that there's like this team comp right now where people are playing Mantis, Adam, and Jeff, or Mantis, Adam, and Ultron, and they're using that to really just kind of buff the team up as best as they can. And even if you can get Luna in there you have such a great resiliency with that. It's kind of looking at healing a little bit differently. But one of the biggest benefits that you're getting from that is that you're getting that attack buff, right? You're getting that from Mantis. So you're empowering your DPS, which in this case would be Guru, making Wolverine even stronger than he already is. And then you have the ability to res people again too, which it's just extremely, extremely powerful. So it's just a really interesting team comp here to see. Another screenshot that I've got here to give you guys some reference. We're seeing, again, kind of similar picks here. Right, these games are looking pretty much the same. Not too much Hulk. We're seeing Hulk banned. I didn't watch, like I said, a ton. We've got a Hulk in this one here. We finally see a Loki play. He's been banned in so many of the games that I was able to watch. Even if I watched for a little bit, I noticed that Loki was not present. We're looking in a lot of these instances. It's not surprising to see even just 1 primary tank, whether that be only Doctor Strange or only Magneto. Obviously in this setup here, we've got, we don't have that happening. We've got Hulk here. We've got Captain America. Captain America's been picked a lot more than I would have expected as well. And honestly, I don't want to say I didn't expect people to pick Wolverine, but he was definitely picked up a little bit more than I expected. But I think part of that is just that he's just so good at dealing with the tanks. And when you look at the higher elo gameplay, the healing is really dialed in. People are very, very tough to get an elimination on. Truthfully, it's crazy watching them. And I think that's why you see Wolverine played a little bit more so than than I would personally ever see him being played in Diamond even. I rarely come across him. Truthfully, I don't see him that often. It's far more common now watching this tournament to see people playing Wolverine, which is just a really interesting thing to think about. So yeah, these are the screenshots that I grabbed just for like a quick reference. And then, like I said, I created a little visualization so we can take a look at that and give you guys that information just straightforward. So more or less, this is kind of what I have been seeing as far as the picks are going. Magneto can solo tank. You know, I think that pretty widely known, but in case you didn't know that, he's like maybe the only one that can actually successfully solo tank right now. Like, you know, you can say Strange can do it as well because he has the shield, but and this isn't any like ordering or anything like that. These are just more or less kind of what we're looking at from the games that I have specifically watched that seem to be the priority picks. All of these heroes are just doing super well. Like, truthfully. And that's not to say that any of the other ones aren't being picked either. They are. You know, people are playing as Hawkeye. We're seeing, you know, Moon Knight sometimes. Iron Man makes an appearance now and again. We see a little bit of Black Panther. You know, Loki too. But Loki's just getting banned a lot. So in most of the games that I've seen, he has not been present. They're more focusing on the healers, truthfully, you know, being these. We're seeing more Jeff. We're seeing the Sharknado sometimes too. Like, this is just, there's not really a true counter for it. It's very powerful. You have to use 2 ults to do it. So you got to kind of balance that out. But overall, I mean, based on what I'm looking at right now, if you were to say, you know, okay, I don't want to make a decision on who I want to play based on a tier list that's kind of geared toward GM and below, or, you know, my tier lists specifically just come from my personal experience. They're just my opinion based on how my games go. If you wanted to look at the heroes from a straightforward approach to say, this is who obviously is someone I should spend time on, then I would say look to this, because this is what I'm seeing the most of from the tournament games that I've been able to watch so far. We're very early in it. Things could change. Priority could change. We could see people shift a little bit, but more or less, this is what we're looking at right now. So certainly something to think about. And then, you know, as far as bans go, they're very heavily based on the strategist, Magneto, and here, we can even, let's do this here real quick. Let's just add a row above, and this is just going to be bans, whatever. No need to get fancy with the name here. Oh, let's change that. This was the Vanguards. Okay, so this one here, this is just going to be bans. What we are seeing the most of so far, ban-wise, and like, look, take a quick screenshot of this if you hadn't, you know, or back up when I had this properly titled before I messed that up. We're seeing bans looking like this. More or less, which is crazy. We're also seeing Punisher bans too. I would say as far as like duelists getting banned go, this would be maybe top of the list just from what I've watched so far. Some of you may have watched like way more of the tournament than I have, but I feel like you don't really need to watch too much to get like a good feel of what banning looks like. But this is just really interesting to see 4 of like the most likely bans that I am seeing are strategists, which tells you something, I think, about the current meta right now. I know tournament play, we're looking at the best players in the game right now. And then you look at like regular competitive play, GM and below, even, you know, even Celestial or below. Honestly, I don't know that it matters that much. It looks a little bit different, right? There's a higher focus on getting rid of the strategists in the tournament play and also protecting the tanks. We're seeing heavy protection, especially on Emma, and we're even seeing it on Magneto as well. There's just a lot of value in these 7 heroes right now. A lot of value. So food for thought, guys. Short and sweet, just a simple video based on what I've been noticing from the tournament play. If you're enjoying videos like this from me and you have not subscribed yet, please take a moment to do so. I would greatly appreciate it. And yeah, stay tuned for more videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.